Ramble time. Yeah, I'm uploading the video from Skepticamp for Dr. Morgan Levy right now. And, I took an excerpt from his presentation where he actually answered my question. That was the only question I actually got to ask any of the presenters that day, because by the time I realize I have a question, you know, time's up. Time for the next presentation, you know. The day was so packed full of good presentations, and each one, maybe 3 people, 4 people got questions answered. But Dr. Levy, he pretty much had like a 5-minute video and then fielded questions the entire time, you know, for almost an hour. So that's how I got my question answered. But I suppose I'm rambling right now because I wanted to talk about his answer. Now, I asked a question about the addiction to prayer. Religion as an addictive social construct that actually stimulates the brain just like any other addiction, you know. And if you're having trouble imagining religion as an addiction, think about gambling or sex addictions and how those also stimulate parts of the brain. You know, some people, when they hear addiction, they just think, you know, chemical drugs, but there's more to it. And so I asked him how effective he thought ridicule or, you know, alternative facts being presented to someone could be in breaking their addiction to religion. You know, when they go back and pray for the same things that they've been then shown cannot be prayed for effectively. You know, that there's actually facts that they're up against. How effective can we be in bringing this cognitive dissonance to them so that they actually have to face the fact that, you know, what they're doing is silly. And sometimes, you know, the prayer that someone is praying isn't something that you can easily ridicule or present facts for. Sometimes it's just, you know, so circumstantial that, you know, it's not going to be something that's offensive, you know. Praying that it's going to be, you know, a good day for soldiers in Iraq, I guess. That, you know, no one's going to ridicule anyone for wishing good on people, like praying for world peace, right? But, you know, sometimes prayers can be offensive. Like when I asked my question, I gave examples like praying the gay away, and Rick Perry having his prayer thing and trying to pray the country having a better economy and stuff like that. And, you know, there are prayers that are offensive, and those are the ones that I would bring ridicule to. But there's also prayers that, like, you wish people had more information so that they would understand that they're praying wrong, and you give them facts, you know, and you'd hope that those facts can get through the addiction to prayer. So my question to him was, how effective do you think we can be? And he was not very hopeful at all. And this is one of those moments where people who are in similar fields disagree a bit. For me, I am hopeful that it can happen. And it's happened where I've had people tell me that because of a video I made or something that I said, they came to realize that something was not right, you know, and I've helped them along this path. And I've got many PMs to this effect. I've got in real life friends who have said these things to me, and after seeing Dr. Levy's presentation and seeing him talk about the same mechanisms of reward that would happen, you know, when someone is addicted to something, you know, the dopamine release and all that. Why would you treat an addiction to religion as a special circumstance when it's doing the same things as a chemical dependency or, you know, gambling or sex addiction? You know, is it just because people get butthurt when you categorize religion as an addiction? You know, because to me, whether or not people get butthurt about it has nothing to do with the science of categorizing things in order to help people, you know. So, yeah, I'm a little bit more hopeful than he is with regards to whether or not we can change people's minds. You know, after years of being rewarded by certain practices, because whenever someone gets into a religious fervor in church and starts speaking in tongues and maybe passes out because they get so flustered from the emotional experience, you know, we can actually change people's minds and get them out of that behavior, you know, for their betterment, you know. And right now, I'm actually thinking about Violently Graceful, because we both have had similar experiences with churches that do some of these things that, you know, you can only explain the atmosphere as being, you know, like a drug. You know, it's what gets people all worked up. You know, and it's, you know, and I'm not really speaking to the ethics of helping people against their will. You know, that's another thing altogether. But I have another business card to add to my collection of business cards. I think I'm going to get like this. I saw a Rolodex on eBay that like you could just stick the business cards in and it saves business cards. And I think I'm going to have a collection now, because I've got a stack. But as far as Dr. Levy, there are many things that I do agree with him on, and for skeptical thinkers, his third book, which is Placebo Medicine, it's a great sort of it reads almost like a field guide of different alternative medicine herbs and stuff. So if say hypothetically we all had some friend that kept on you know, offering everybody his experience in, say, Chinese herbalism, right? Hypothetically. A book like Dr. Levy's Placebo Medicine, it's good to be able to look up all the ingredients that are, you know, in these things, and what people say about these things, about, you know, what they're effective for, and what they're actually effective for, and what their actual effects on the body are. So I really recommend it. I will leave a link in the description box to that book. He's got a website where you can read it for free, but he's got like a little donation PayPal thing. Dr. Levy is just a public speaker now. He's disabled with multiple sclerosis, and since 2004 he's been out of clinical practice. So he does public speaking, and you know, writes books, and stays active. And a big part of his discussion was that you have to keep your brain active with things, you know, that that feed this innate need. And I've heard from religious people, you know, you've got a hole in your heart that can only be filled by God. It's a God-shaped hole, you know, and you can try to fill it with drugs and booze and women and rock and roll and all that crap, but it's not going to fill it because it's a God-shaped hole. And I think just from Dr. Levy's example alone, he himself is proof that maybe he should be a little bit more hopeful that we can change people's minds when they are stuck in, you know, the addiction to certain religious traditions that are hurting them. And I think that his example shows that he had to make a life-changing decision to retire and go on disability, you know, and really restructure his whole life around his disability. And he keeps active, and he really does look happy. He's really contributing to society, and I think that there are replacements for religion, you know. I think there are mental exercises you can do. I think there's different ways to fellowship, and they're becoming more and more easily accessible. I mean, I've had people in this week alone, I've heard the word meetup for meetup.com. I've heard that word like 100 times, you know. I'll be going to a Unitarian church on Sunday for a Roy Zimmerman concert. Hold on. I got the flyer right here. Roy Zimmerman. If you've never heard his songs, he's got a YouTube channel. Look it up, but I'll put a link in the description for him too. I'll just put it with that card so I remember. But there's so many things that you can do now for fellowship, you know, for the social aspect of things that, you know, we might have evolved with religion. You know, like we went from hunters that just communicated just to say how far away the prey was to needing more communication to be more effective. And then once we had, you know, towns and cities and kings and priests, we had to have religion, you know, to keep things ordered, I guess. And I am saying right now that now that we have so much information at our fingertips, I think we can actually evolve past needing religion. You know? And here's a crazy thought. 100 years from now, maybe some, internet archaeologist is going to find this video and go, no shit, Sherlock, it wasn't 10 or 20 years after you said that, religion really started showing its decline, And maybe we're seeing it right now, but maybe I won't see enough of it before I die. And the upload is only a quarter done because it's a huge, long video. I do recommend that you guys watch his presentation. Definitely the one right before it that I uploaded. All the presentations from Skepticamp were awesome, and still, I look at the view counts on certain videos on my channel. I'm like, man, you can't really force feed people the good stuff, the substance. If there's no drama involved, if it's just something that happened that's got a lot of information in it, that's not what people want. They want the drama. And if you're here for drama, I apologize myself because I have fed the drama beast in certain people before, and I just am not in the mood right now. I am a human being, and I do drama stuff, I'm just not in the mood right now. Got a whole bunch of different thoughts in my head. And when I think about how I've been spending my time just trying to provide a platform for all of these speakers to be able to get their substance out, Most of these speakers have no internet presence whatsoever, or they don't have anything where they have followers. Like, they'll have a website, but no way to get the word out. And so my little small channel that I have, I think I'm doing something good by uploading their presentations, and it feels good to do it as a break from anything drama related. It really does. As a break from responding to things on YouTube, it's great to just have a lot of information to present. So at this rate, I think I will be done with all of the films that I made by Friday with the second lecture from Dr. Fagan. I already have one of them from him, and then the last lecture of the day, and it was a really good one. So that's coming up. I have, I think, 3 in between. One was from a guy named Sean, who did a tour of a creation museum. The next one was from a geologist, and the next one was from a guy that worked for NASA for a very long time. So a lot of different variety coming up. And just for fun, just for shits and giggles, I am going to put in the title of this ramble, like, a whole bunch of different things that this ramble is not about. You know, Losoyo has already done this, so I'm actually stealing his idea here. But, you know, if my findings are the same as his findings, then we'll have verification. We'll have some validation to this whole thing. So, misleading title for the ramble. There's probably going to be something like IG sucks donkey balls. I don't know. You're probably looking at it right now, so whatever I put in the title, I did it just because well, one, I don't like thinking about what I'm going to title things when some of the issues are so close to me, you know. And two, because I was just being a dick. And if my microphone picks up any drum sounds from my camera, I mean, we put a whole bunch of soundproofing in the walls, and still I can hear like slight drumming. That would be what I got my brother for his birthday. So, and his kids like to play it, and he's the best dad ever now because he doesn't mind when his kids play the drums. So that's the end of the ramble. I have nothing more. Check the description box for the book from Dr. Levy and channel link for Roy Zimmerman. Check out his songs. I'm going to go see him, and I'm probably going to get something autographed, and I'm probably going to show it in a video just to make Violently Graceful like completely jealous of what I'm doing on Sunday